Alfred, and I'm going to present as my topic for my oral presentation. I will be doing topic tablets in the classroom. This is relevant in our school for two reasons. One being that in September 2015, all the students at our high school got free tablets from the government of Dominica. And two, it was just announced today that we were the winners of Macmillan and CXC scores competition for free past papers, that we were the winners. So that is something we could access via the tablets in the classrooms and actually use it. Right. So, I'm going to propose that tablets should be integrated more into teaching and learning in the classroom because they benefit, one, the students, they also benefit the teachers, and also they save paper. So I will start with the benefits to the students. Tablets make learning more fun for the students because it is more interactive and it is more student-centered instead of teacher-oriented. It's like more student-centered. And with the use of tablets in the classroom, you get more of a many-to-many interaction in the classroom instead of one-to-many. You will have less of the talk and talk, and because the students are more engaged, they'll be more interested, and that will also nurture team spirit, creativity, curiosity, and so on. Also, we have Fleming's 4 learning modalities given as visual, oral, read, write, or kinesthetic, and the tablet caters for all of them. Visual, you see what you're doing, you hear what you're doing, that's the auditory, and you can read and write what you have. And also the interactive apps give you the ability to also be participating in whatever learning you're doing. Right? So we have the audio visuals make the classroom more lively and interesting. It brings the classroom to life. And if you notice that most learners, just a few learners that have one learning modality, most of them have several. And because the tablet caters for all the learning modalities, it is a very good thing to have in the classroom. Then we have the students can actually stay in the class and experience the world out there. For example, of Spanish teachers teaching Spanish, you can actually bring the class to life with some pictures and some things about culture of Spain. You will have, we don't have a microscope in our lab at Castro Secondary, so we could, in lieu of the lab, the actual lab, we can use some virtual lab using the tablets. Everybody will be participating. Also, even if we have the stuff, but before we actually do the practical, you can have a simulation exercise which will help the students to learn and apply what they learn. Then we have the next point is the tablets benefiting the teachers too, by making teaching more effective and easier. So first we have differentiated learning or multi-grade learning would be more possible, and this is very, very important, especially because of universal secondary education, where they said all students to high schools in Dominica, we get in one classroom somebody working at grade 5 level and another student working from 5 level. So the teachers have to cater for that multi-grade learning and differentiated learning, and the tablet gives them opportunity to do that. Also, it caters for disabilities too, because if you cannot hear what the teacher is saying, like our hearing impaired students can actually use the tablet to read whatever they're saying at the time. Then we have, it caters for all the learning styles as we saw before, so that is a plus for the teachers because they can reach more students. Then it allows for direct teacher-student coaching for those who need it, because this teacher has to spend less time on actually delivering content, so then they can actually help students analyze the information they get, right? And so they have more time for two-way interaction and to provide feedback to the students and to build rapport and also answer questions from the students. Teachers potentially have less workload too because they need less preparation time and possibly less training. What I mean by that is you only prepare for the class once. right? A particular topic, living things you prepare for it once, and then you just modify it. Each new cohort of students you get, you modify it, but then that'll be less work for you the next time. The only time it will be stressful might be the first year. And tablets can be used in multiple choice exams, so the mapping will be done automatically. Right. So here we have it. The students are happy using the tablets, and the teachers are happy. The last point under that is it requires less paper. Now the big thing around is conserving, reduce, reuse, recycle, and the tablet gives us an opportunity for that, where you will have less paper being used, and this will always be good for the environment, because going green is always good for the environment. Also, we have digital libraries which are lighter, so that's a plus, because you have a lot of people complaining about back pain, and so this would mean that it is much lighter for them and potentially more cost effective and accessible than the actual paperback or books, because even if you cannot access the books, but you can access an e-copy of the book instead of the paperback, because you might not have libraries, but you will have a digital copy available, because you don't have to buy the books. You just have to download. That will be reducing cost for you, so it's reducing the paper. Now, even tests and evaluations can be done via the tablet instead of the paper. So, whereas traditionally the teacher would have to prepare, print, and then share the papers, disseminate the papers, then now they go straight from preparing to disseminating it via Google Classroom, Notes Masters, and some other websites, right? So no printing necessary. This has three advantages. It saves money in terms of paper and ink. It saves a tree, and it saves time you would use to collate papers and so on. Some educators oppose the use of tablets in the classroom, citing challenges like those echoed by Bacon 2013, where they say input is a problem, or content is a problem, or control is a problem, where they don't have a keyboard, so input would be a problem. They don't have access to much good material, so the content would be the problem there. And control, because sometimes when you finish students is on a website that is actually educationally on another website. However, these problems can be treated with proper training and sensitization and action among the educators instead of eliminating the tablets in the classroom. Because, for example, we have the input cited as a problem, but that is just an example of generational gap, because the students are more comfortable with what you call thumb texting than the typewriter version that we accustom as older people to. Also, the content wouldn't be a problem, because the major publishers are now digitalizing their textbooks, so the materials will be made available. And the last step about control, where bad content is accessed during class time, this is something that is inevitable, and what we as teachers can do is use it as a teachable moment and teach students how to make best use of the tablet, because tablets, smartphones, computers are not going anywhere anytime soon. Right. So, to summarize, tablets belong in the 2015 classroom because students benefit from the tablet, teachers benefit, and less paper and also less paperwork. Thank you very much. Next. All right, so now I have to answer two questions from my classmates, so I chose two questions. My first question was from Aline Chandler. She asked, in what level of the school system do you propose that the tablet should be introduced and used? And give a reason for your answer. My answer for that would be at high school. The obvious reason being that the students got it for free, so why not use it? So we can maximize the use of free resources twofold, meaning the tablet itself and all the other materials that can supplement our textbooks and stuff that are freely available online. So the teacher just have to get it and disseminate it, right? So I think high school is the proper level to use the tablets. And also, we have the reason, basically, preparing for CSEC, like us, we can use the free past papers and prepare for CXC's exam on the tablet without a need to print out all these papers. Printing out these papers would be costly and a lot of papers to physically collate and so on. Even to do and submit their SBAs at lower or low cost is another plus for the tablet now at high school, because 2016 CXC starts to accept e-copies of your SBA, e-submissions of your SBA, so students no longer have a need to go and print the SBAs. So why not use the tablets in the class which are in a custom? They can use the tablets, do the entire SBAs, then submit it online because printing is no longer necessary. So in that case, we will see a good use of technology in the classroom, even to save cost in terms of SBA, either for free or at a very, very low cost compared to before. Question number 2 was from Faye Henry David. She asked, what plans do you have for the training of teachers to ensure that the integration of tablets reap the potential benefits in the learning experience? Well, my answer for that would start with the government. What would be supposed to be? So what is supposed to be is that the government should update their policies and their educational laws, etc., so that ICT courses are compulsory, they are mandatory, right, for all teachers across the board, no matter what subject you teach. However, this is not being done at present, so we have an alternative. So, instead of just some teachers getting a summer training and workshops prepared by the Ministry of Education, at the school level, we have workshops planned each term, coordinated by the IT department from our school, and the teachers are taught about the many uses of technology. They are introduced to websites that are important. They are also introduced to apps that are important, etc. Right? And this is the end of my presentation.